You've heard of Blab, and you've heard of the Circadians, and you've definitely heard of Miss Ileane. So on this episode of the Circadians, No Blabus Interruptus, we're going to show you how to embed a blab with Miss Ileane, our special guest.
That way we get to see Stan leave. Okay, folks, we're here. It's 10 o'clock. We're going to get things going, and we are the Circadians, and we have the honor of having Miss Ileane Smith here today. And what I want you to do is to tell a little birdie over on the left-hand side, tweet it out to your Twitter followers, and if you want to, click on and post it to your Facebook followers also. If you have a question, type /Q, a space, type in your question. That way everybody sees it over here on the question box on the left-hand side, and we don't miss anything that you need to get answered. I'm going to lock the seat, and we will answer those questions at the end when we get done with the presentation. And right now, I am going to turn it over to Michelle, and I'm going to sit back and hit the X on my microphone, and I'm going to be quiet. And Michelle's going to do the presentation and take us through it. Michelle, it's all.
Thank you, Ron, and welcome our diva guest, Miss Ileane Smith. All right.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's our pleasure. All right. I am going to go to our presentation. I will not be able to see you guys. So if anything is happening that I don't know about, just let me know. Okay. All right. You can see me, but I won't be able to see you. Here we go. Okay. Today is how to embed a blab. The first portion of this blab is to help people to embed blab. It's about 15 minutes long. It's fast-paced with a clear goal. We want to give you the confidence to embed blab. We don't answer many questions from the audience. We show you how to embed it, and that's it. We ask that you hold all your questions until the end. We do encourage you to join the blab when there is an open seat. Just click inside the circle that says call in one of the frames if one is available. Who are we? The Circadians. The Circadians are a community that isn't built around one individual. We live, work, and thrive in a guru-free zone. Everyone is equal, everyone matters, and everyone has their own special gift, with the sum of those gifts being greater than the one individual. What do? We create event-driven, outcome-oriented business-building relationships, broadcasts, websites, content, training programs, and more. For example, this is the event. Our outcome is we want you to be able to feel comfortable embedding when we're done here. And we do get business and referrals from our efforts here. We welcome the opportunity to elaborate on that. Just ask for an invitation to our community today by emailing youmatter@thecircadians.com. So let's get started with the rules of Blab. Blab doesn't really have rules, but the Blab team has created some agreements or guidelines they would like the community to go by. Respect each other, honor the viewer's time, let others talk, don't be an awful person to be around, argue the point, not the person, and the host sets the rules to the party unless they conflict with the rules. So basically, be respectful. It's okay to agree to disagree, but don't call anybody any bad names or anything like that. We'd like to thank some of our supporters in the past and present. Of course, we have Miss Ileane Smith here today, Chef Dennis, Nazim, all the Circadians. We thank you for all your help in what we do here and getting stuff done. Now, how to embed a blab. That's what we're here for today. So we go to Facebook first and we look for Thunder Penny. I think Stan is going to put that link into the box. And once you get there, you click on the Use App button. Once you go to Thunder Penny Static HTML, it looks like a star in a box. You click on the green Add Static HTML to a Page button. There you will see an Add Page tab. Clicking on Facebook Pages will give you a drop-down menu. Select the page you want to add the tab to. Now you will be taken to the page you selected. Click on Set Up tab button. The next page will have the dialog box where you will paste your text. Go to the page that you want to embed. Next to the tweet and post box, you'll see the embed symbol. It looks like a less than / greater than sign. Click that to get the embed code. Click on the embed code dialog box, highlight the text, and hit Control-C to copy it. Now go back to the Facebook page, highlight the text below the index HTML and delete it. Now hit Control-V and paste it into the box. So basically, you're taking the HTML embed code that's in Thunderpenny, copying it, going back to the Facebook page, deleting the information that's there, and pasting the code that you copied. Okay. Now, the next step is click on the blue and save and publish button. Personally, I like to look at the publish button first because you get to see what it looks like, and then save it. You'll get a save message, and there you can click on preview. Again, I like to click on preview first. The preview should now present you with a page view of the page you are embedding. Now you'll click on actions and then edit name and image. This will bring up a page with a text box to change the name. There's also a link to learn how to change the tab image. Go to your Facebook page, click on Manage Tabs. This will bring up the Tabs Manage box. You can click or add, remove tabs there. All the tabs you have on this page will be displayed. Click on the tab you want to add an image to. You can remove the tab from here also. You can change the name of the tab. To change the image, click on Change, link next to Custom Tab Images. This will bring up pages to upload to custom image. Rolling your mouse over the image will display an edit link. Click on that. The next page will allow you to upload an image. It must be 111 by 74 pixels and no larger than 1 megabyte. Once selected, your image will be displayed here. And in this app section on your Facebook page, you can embed the code anywhere the iframe is allowed. So that system can be used anywhere on Blogger, WordPress, and that's it. That's the presentation. And I'm going to send this over to any questions, or Miss Ileane, you have anything to add?
Well, yes. On the presentation, we were talking about Facebook and Thunderpenny. That's an app that I've used for a while now on my Facebook tab, and I just wanted to make sure folks know where that shows up. When you're on the Facebook page, there's tabs over on the left-hand side of a Facebook page, and hopefully you have that tab as one of the featured tabs because they only let you show 3 tabs. Like for me, I have my Pinterest, probably Instagram, and then I have a form for folks to sign up to my email list, and then my podcast. But if I wanted to use the Blabs on Facebook, then I would switch one of those out and have that tab show up. So, because people are not going to be going on your Facebook page looking around. Mm-hmm. It's going to have to be one of those ones that's visible in order for you to anticipate folks.
You can move them up, right? Like they come in an order and then you drag them up to the top or the bottom?
Absolutely. Yep. That's what I wanted to emphasize.
Yeah, there was no doubt that that Ileane was going to have something to say about that because she knows how to embed. I've watched her talk about that very thing a lot of times, and she's really experienced with it. One of the things I wanted to answer that question about Camtasia or Skype is that, we know about those. We just don't use them in Blab. We've used them in other presentations. We just don't use them in Blab because there is a shared, they're going to do a shared, built to do a screen share here shortly, which Ms. Ileane, who is on top of everything to do with everything, would be able to tell you that. So let me ask you a question. Once you put that on, thanks for the presentation too, Michelle. You went
wonderful
right through the
job.
presentation. You got through the basic stuff of it. You can download that presentation at learnblab.com. You can register there and see the whole presentation, including the screen shares, everything. There's a lot of people up here. I think I saw Mayana come in a while ago. She's got an excellent presentation on how to embed Blab. There's a lot of people that's got them out there. And but if you how do you promote once you've embedded it on Facebook on Thunderpenny? What do you do from there to help promote that tab? Yes, you.
Okay, I've got to be honest with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't embed it on Facebook, even though you can, and here's why. Because we all know statistically, most people are on Facebook on their phones, and that embed will not work on mobile.
So do you do it? Do you, because they just began allowing, here's the iframe code, by the way, to embed any kind of page anywhere in the world. Just replace that thing that says SRC with HTTPS, and you'll be able to embed pages to your web page or anything else. But
grab that code, everybody. That really works well anywhere.
It works anywhere. But the getting back to that is that, so are you embedding it onto your page now instead of a tab?
I'm embedding it on my blog. I have a dedicated web page, and in fact, you guys could go there now, and that's the page that I've been sending folks to all day, and it's ileanesmith.com/live. Now you're going to hear reverb, so Stan, don't go there unless you mute that tab.
I know how to mute that tab. I know how to do.
And
this ain't my first rodeo.
Yeah, I know. I was just telling everyone else, if you go there, you're going to hear us in echo. So that's where I have been doing it now. I do also want to address a question that came in over here about ManyCam, and a lot of folks are using ManyCam. Honestly, ManyCam doesn't really work well on Macs within Blab. Okay, I've seen it all. Okay, because I've been here. If you click on my profile, you'll see I've been here 200+ days. So I've seen a lot of folks using other software that you can use as CamTwist. That probably works a little bit better on the Mac, and XSplit. In fact, my friend Jaron, a long time ago, set up a Listly. And if you're not familiar with Listly, it's list.ly. And it's a site where you can curate content. And he has a whole list of third-party apps that work with Blab. And that's on my cheat sheet. So anyway, I'm just not a fan of using ManyCam. I just think that eventually Blab will give us the sharing features so that we can do some presentations or other embeds here. But in the meantime, I think it's perfectly fine that we have links that you guys can open up the presentations and follow along. Even though I'm having a good hair day, you guys don't have to look at me. You can hear what I'm saying while you're on another screen going through the presentation. So, and these guys, the Circadians, they are so dedicated to Blab. Seriously, they do this every weekday. Okay, guys. So this is something that you can always come back at 10 a.m. Eastern and get the knowledge and ask your questions. And I think it's a great question about ManyCam. It's just personally, I don't use it, but there's a lot of folks here that do use it. In fact, we were talking about Mayana. Hi, Mayana. And I know she was using it for a while. I don't think she's using it any longer, but she's still, she does regular Blabs here as well. So I just want to address that. So there a little bit more about this whole concept of embedding. The reason I like to embed it on my blog is, as much as I love Blab and, we've got all these other live streaming platforms out here today, you don't know when it's going to go down or it's not going to be here anymore or, something, or you just decide that, hey, I want to live stream on a different platform. Maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's Periscope, or Meerkat. You want to always be able to send people to a page where they always know, if I want to catch Ileane Smith live, I know I can go to ileanesmith.com/live. And I'm either going to see her live or I'm going to see her replays embedded there. So to keep in mind, guys, too, you can embed the live blab, but also the replays. And so that's a great way to make sure that you're getting more reach out of your blabs.
Mm-hmm. By the way, it's displaying perfect over there. It's not, there's like no echo, or there's an echo right now. I don't know if somebody else has got a tab open or something, but there's on your page, it's displaying everything's in sync, everything's fine, because sometimes you got like a display, you got like a little delay, and I don't know whether, usually I think that has to do with more of the hosting thing, but it looks good. Everything's great, as we would always expect. Mm-hmm. And I will tell the person that said something about a Manicam, there was a couple of things. The world is not on Android. I'm on Android and PC. You're speaking to the choir, but I'm telling you, the world is on everything. It's all about collaboration and working together and figuring things out. That's really what, as a matter of fact, that's really what the Circadians, the people that know us up close and personal, that's what we're really about. And I would invite the person from France to know that we would love to have, just as Ileane would love to have collaboration with you. And you can bring your Manicam in here and do that for us, because we're just that kind of group. We just don't want to, take off we don't want to take focus off the fact that people like Ileane and Mia and Andy and Nikki and I don't want to leave anybody out, but we have a really great guest who are sharing their information, and we don't want to take away from them, because the knowledge that they have, you can't really get from, you can't really get unless you can talk to them and listen to them. So that's what I'm here for.
Stan, I'm going to step out and so we can post some of these questions in the box, and you can read them off then.
Yeah, I see a really great question that I would love to. Oh, well, since you pinned that one, we'll do that one.
I didn't pin. We got a lot of people in here.
I know. Well, somebody pinned it. You put the Blab clip in YouTube before you embed the content. Well, Scott, that's a great question. But the thing is, we're talking about embedding the Blab here. So it's not even on YouTube yet, because we didn't even finish it yet. So to answer that question, we're embedding the Blab first while it's live. And then later on, we can, if we choose to, upload it to YouTube. And I also have a video that shows how to do that and how to optimize those uploads to YouTube. And in fact, let me give you guys the link to.
You can go ahead and focus. I'll get that for you.
My Blab cheat sheet, which is Blab updates, all caps, bit.ly. And so that's how we handle that. But the question that I wanted to answer was from Manson Twit, and he's saying, and I know his name, but wait, I'm sorry, I have to click it on to see Craig. Hi, Craig. And he wants to know if we talked about the WordPress plugin to embed it on your own site. Craig, you don't need a plugin. I mean, there's a plugin out there you can use, but you don't need a plugin. All you have to do is grab that code, and you could do it now. You could embed this Blab right now, right next to where it says tweet or post. You see that gray box with the HTML symbol. You click that on, that'll give you the embed code for this Blab. You go to a post or a page on your WordPress blog. You have to go to the text editor, not the visual editor, the text editor, and paste that code in there. And there you go. So you don't need a plugin. There are plugins out there, but I don't recommend any of them because you just don't need them.
Yeah, you're like that too. You're pretty much a purist when it comes to that kind of thing, right?
I mean, well, and the plugin that I'm aware of is a paid plugin. And why pay when you can do it for free? I mean, there's other little benefits that come with that paid plugin, but I don't even hear people talking about it anymore. And I rarely see folks using it. The ones that are still using it are the ones that they had it there. And Permission from who, Scott? Who would you get? I'm sorry. I want to read this comment out because just in case. And it's from Scott. He says, if I embed this Blab as a live event on a website, do I need your permission? Blab is the one who's providing the embed code. So Blab has given you the permission, and we've all signed off with Blab. When we joined, we all signed off and said, do whatever you want with our content. And so that's one of the things that Blab has taken upon themselves to say, one of the things we want to do is give everybody the ability to embed it. And so
I'm going to remind those questions over there that if you put the /Q in front of them, then it makes it easier to bring them into the Blab, like Jim Bannon's here. What is the ratio of live views? How do you embed Blab on your Facebook page? If you put that Q in front of it, just hit the / button and then pick out Q in that drop down menu, click that, and then enter your question, and it'll show up as a question. What is your ratio of views live versus archive? That's a good question.
Oh, before I answer that, I have to give a shout out to Rob because he told me I look marvelous. Thank you. Jim, you have to wait. Sorry. Okay. You can see anybody's ratio of live versus replays by going to their Blab profile page, and you'll see how many live viewers they had on their Blabs versus, and if you want to do that little math for me, go ahead and, send it over to me. It's not something that I ever really, wanted to compare. I just want people to watch, and I don't care if they watch live or replay, and either way, guys, keep in mind with all these numbers, like right now, we've had 72 people come in and out of here. If you look up there now at the top left, you'll see 72 were here all along. But right now, currently, there's 21. So the thing is, even when you see those numbers, you don't know how long those people stayed. There could have been 20 of those people that were here before we even pressed record. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the same way, when you look at your replay numbers, you don't know if somebody clicked on and said, oh, that's not the one I want to watch. But the other beauty of it is you actually see who those people are. So you can reach out to those people who watched your replays and say, did you have any questions? Did I cover everything? Or, thanks for watching the replay. So that's a way that you can, further engage with your audience just to see if they really did watch, or if they were really interested, or it could have just been a mistake and they just clicked on the wrong Blab. I've done that before.
I'm going to take 30 seconds here, and then I'm going to pop out again and post another question. Nazim said, going back to getting permission, that's a great question. I would do the courtesy of asking a guest if they would be okay with it. And I think it's coming from two different angles, maybe, but that was Nazim's answer, and that might be the proper thing to do.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it would be a common courtesy to ask, or at least mention it to the person. I was, hey, I was going to embed. In fact, someone came to me and asked about my cheat sheet. They said they wanted to use it as a blog post. Could they do it? And I was perfectly fine with that. And I appreciated the fact that they came to me and asked me. So I thought that was very nice of them.
I'm going to answer this. Stacy, if you go here and register, there's over on the left-hand side, we do a Blab every day at 10 o'clock. That's how to use, how to host, how to embed, and how to brand Blab. And if you register there, they'll be in a nice little lineup on the left-hand side. You can just click on them and watch those presentations at whenever you want. And I think Ileane probably has something. I think I put a link to her YouTube channel out there. There are so many good comments coming through, though. This is really good. Which one do you want to pick? Which one do you want to do next?
I didn't even get a chance to give you guys my bonus content because I promised my Snapchat peeps I had some bonus content. So we got to get back to that.
Yeah, we do.
Questions are popping. Mm-hmm. Scott wants to know, do many peeps edit Blabs or dice and cut before embedded? I never took a survey, Scott. So you can't embed the Blab. You can't edit the actual Blab. You would have to download it and edit that file and then re-upload it somehow or somewhere. YouTube, on your own site somehow or something like that. So but once you have it on YouTube, you can edit it. And yes, I've done that before. There was one, in fact, Nazim was with me we were talking about SEO tips. We had an SEO infographic posted on my blog, and Nazim and I did a blab. And then I realized that I hadn't talked about the 40 SEO tips and the infographic. So I had to hold another blab where all I did was just read out the tips, took that into YouTube. The other one was already uploaded into YouTube. And then I stitched them together, and you can use the YouTube editor. And I have video tutorials to show you how to do that on my YouTube channel. And I stitched those two videos together and then just, published it as the one video. Because one of the things that I recommend when you upload to YouTube is you want to upload it as unlisted. But you have to, it's kind of tricky because Blab will automatically make it public. It's not their fault. That's just the way the permissions are set up with YouTube. So you have to, as soon as it starts uploading, YouTube has to encode the video. So during that encoding process is when you go in there and make sure you change it to unlisted. Then you can upload your custom thumbnail, write out your description, your tags, do any other little editing that you want to do. And like I said, I have tutorials about all that stuff over on my YouTube channel. Okay.
And I'm going to say something to someone else who's in here with us. And I'm going to call it, I'm just going to say Blab checklist, create Blab checklist, and see if they get that subliminal hint that we just got. Yeah, that's a really good tip. I was like, we automatically, when it gets sent up, it automatically gets put into a thing, right? We've got the playlist set up to be able to do that, but that's a very good point. And Mayana made some really good points about the code. There's, like I said, there's a lot of really good stuff coming through here today, but we expect that. That's why you're here. Absolutely.
Yes. And so Latanya, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, regarding the total number of viewers, does that include the people who aren't logged into Blab? And I think the answer to that depends. If you're looking at the total number of viewers right now while we're live, yes. But because we have a +1 there. And honestly, I don't know. And I don't know how to find that out. I don't know how to find that out because when you look at the bigger number, like I said, 72, we don't know who all those 72 people are. It would be nice if we could do process of elimination to see if that +1 was added in there or not. So that is definitely a question for Team Blab. I've never actually had a way to find out.
I don't know how they're doing it because after the Blabs, I go look at all the viewers, and we could have 100 people here, but I'll never get past the number 50 on the list of who was in the Blab that day.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm going to answer Craig real quick with another thing. We already answered this question about a WordPress plugin. Just remember, and because I don't know, but I would presume she did, but I'll emphasize that you don't have to have a plugin. Just make sure that you're using the plain text, no WYSIWYG editor when you post it when you make it into that post, because if you don't, it'll strip all of the stuff out of it. Which one of those you want to take up? The Jim Bannon's talking about the syntax for, starting a timeline. And then we've already answered that. Camtasia or Skype. Yeah, we've all used them. We just don't right now, but believe me, you're welcome to join us if you want to take that headache on, because it's definitely a headache because when we're trying to get through this stuff, it's different, but we would love to have you join and provide that part for us. The views on embeds, which one of those you want? There's like way good questions in here.
Well, actually the one from Mayana is, we already answered this, right? Do views on embeds count towards total views on Blab? Okay. The views on embed, it should count in the replay views, only if the person is logged into Blab. If the person's not logged into Blab, then Blab would have no way of being able to add them into the count. So You
What
know?
does it? Yeah, because they don't actually tally the plus ones and stuff in the.
That's what we were just saying. I'm not 100% sure
Yeah.
if that's in that count now live. And as I was saying it, I'm not 100% sure. I think the plus ones are included in your live count, the big number, but I don't even know that for sure. I just always assume that. And I guess if you were in a smaller room and you saw a plus one, that would be a way to test that. Like say it was only 4 or 5 people in the room and then there was a plus one, then you could easily count and see if that would.
Yeah, which brings us to the point that you can always go to Test Zone, check that stuff out. If you want to try to spring a Blab up, just a test, just go to blab.im/test zone. As long as your Twitter account is you're logged in, it'll go ahead and bring up one. There's 2 different ways to do that, but that's my personal favorite.
And Jim Bannon is giving some tips, and I can't pin it because the window is just too long. He's just talking about, and I think a lot of folks that are Google Plusers already know this, that if you want people to go to a specific timeline in a YouTube video, now we're talking YouTube, so we're talking Blab that's been already uploaded to YouTube, then you would just use that timestamp is basically, and he actually wrote out what that timestamp formula is. And like I said, I think just about everybody who's here, who used to be on Google Plus, knows about that, because it's definitely a trick that we've always used in Google Plus to take folks right to a certain spot in the video. But I got to be honest with you, I always want people to go to the beginning.
I used that one time when I was doing like this report for all the shows. I used it like that. I was like, okay, here, so you could go and get specific things, because I'd go and find things where Ileane or somebody had done something that proved we were human. You know what I mean? Like really goofy things. Like we won't mention, but they might say a word or something. And I used to use the timestamp to get that in there. But I found timestamp good for frequently asked questions. If you can create a database of frequently asked questions, it takes somebody specifically to one. That's I like that too.
Okay, so can I share my little bonus tip now before we go on? Bring the rest of the
Please do.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I want you to take a look at this link here. And if you're not familiar with a site called SlideShare, okay, SlideShare, let me see what their Alexa rank is. They get an Alexa rank of 165, which means that they're like one of the top 200 sites on the web. And I saw this on SlideShare. 2 of my marketing friends, Andy Crestadina and Barry Feltman, they do a Blab here and there, use it as their podcast. And that's one of the things that I do as well, use my Blab recordings as my podcast. But I was over on SlideShare, and I happened to see that they had uploaded a Blab video to SlideShare. Well, I was just over the moon excited, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, how the heck did they do that? As it turns out, before you guys get excited, as it turns out, Barry is a keynote speaker. So he has special privileges on SlideShare. Okay. And so that's why he's able to upload video. Okay. So I wouldn't show this to you guys if I hadn't figured out a workaround, right? So I figured out, and this is something I probably should have been doing all along. What I decided to do, because if you try to upload just a video file and you're not a keynote speaker, if anybody's a keynote speaker here, raise your hand. Okay, we all got our hands down. So you can upload a YouTube video to SlideShare, but it has to be part of a presentation. So now let me show you what I did on that next link that I'm sharing with you guys. It's my secret sauce, guys. I took a custom thumbnail, because we should always have custom thumbnails for our YouTube videos, right? I took a custom thumbnail, and that's one slide, and that's all you need for a SlideShare presentation. And then as my second slide is my YouTube video. I've already got over 3,000 views on that video. If you notice there, I think it's 3,100 or something like that. Okay, so this is another way we're talking about embedding blabs, but it's not actually embedding the blab. You have to go through that step of uploading it to YouTube. Okay, and then you're going to be making your custom thumbnail anyway, guys. If you got a YouTube video, you got to have custom thumbnail. I'm just telling you. You don't have to, but you need to. Take that thumbnail, and now just that same content. You don't have to edit anything. You don't have to jump through no whole bunch of hoops or anything. And remember, SlideShare is now owned by LinkedIn. You can have this displaying on your LinkedIn profile. See what I'm saying, guys? I had to give you guys some bonus stuff here. Now, if you talk about Facebook, now you're also going to be able to have this on LinkedIn. Okay? Because you're going to be able to just click a little button in your SlideShare profile page where you have all your embeds, and there's a little button that says add to your LinkedIn profile. And that's all you got to do is click that.
Oh, that works. That works. That's a great tip, because that's that whole.
Okay, I'll take the props. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to absorb all that in my, you realize that I'm like a mortal, right? I'm just a mere mortal over here.
All right, no. So Laura has a great question here, and I don't have the option to pin that question. I'm confused. How do you get this on YouTube? I'm sorry, Laura, you weren't here earlier. I actually have a video that shows you, but even without watching my video, when you're done with a blab that you've recorded and you come back to that same page, you're going to see upload to YouTube. So you can upload directly from YouTube to Blab. And my video just shows you how to go in there before it gets encoded and make it unlisted, because by default, it's going to be public. But you want to change it to unlisted before it goes out to your subscribers. Then that's when you upload your custom thumbnail. That's when you tweak your title. Make sure it's a little SEO friendly, because, their titles on YouTube have a character limit. It will get cut off. Also, you're going to have tags that are relevant and all that stuff to make sure your video is kind of like SEO friendly for YouTube. And I have all kinds of tips on my YouTube channel about how to do that. Okay. So you're straight with that. Okay. Yep.
There was, I'm really glad that you got that. That's a really good tip. The only thing about that, you answered actually a question for me about SlideShare too, because I've had a SlideShare, account for a while, but I just don't use SlideShare.
Oh, SlideShare is a very important website, and it holds a lot of SEO value. And when you search for things, quite often SlideShare will show up. And it's good for your personal branding, guys. I mean, seriously, everybody here who's on Blab, even if you're part of a group or you're working for a company, when I say personal branding, it's just about, like with the Circadians, you want to get that brand out there. You want to get that brand more well known. SlideShare is another place that people are constantly searching and scouring for material. So,
well, I am going to say something here now that Ron's here, we got another person up here in the thing, is that this is where she doesn't have to take her glasses off today, but she knows I'm fixing to get a screenshot of this. All right, let's see how that comes out. I'll just post this into the other page here.
Thanks, dear.
Oh yeah, oh my goodness.
I just want to tell people, those links that Ileane posted over on the side, if you click on them, they'll open up in another tab. You'll still hear us, but then bookmark them so you can go back and view them later. And and that way you'll have them. You don't have to worry about copying them down. Just bookmark them. And the other thing, Ileane, we talked, she said she's having a good hair day. I never have a bad hair day.
Go, Ron. You get props for that.
Okay, I'm jumping out again. I'll be the Snapchat.
You're playing
guy.
Snapchat, huh? You doing Stan's thing?
Yeah, he's doing the Snapchat thing now. I'm going to get one here with. Oh my goodness, me with all women. I love this.
That I'm with your vibration today.
Okay.
Thank you very much for being
You got
so
to
beautiful and so shiny. I'm very happy to be with you.
I sent you a friend request on Facebook because when I tried to tag you, it wouldn't work. And then I was like, I can't believe we're not friends on Facebook. So
it must be the time difference. If I did not see it, sorry.
Yeah.
I log in.
It was right when we started the Blab, so you probably didn't hear the whole thing.
I spent less time on Facebook these days because when you do all this that you told us today, and it's so important, then you come to collect the things. And here's the collection of the Circadians I'm doing. I'm collecting the videos, and I think we will come up with numbers as well. So I take note of all these things that you mentioned, and I try to make something new.
Okay, great. Thank you.
She's our collection specialist.
Yeah.
She's really, really good at collections.
I'm grouping the content in a new way. It's really like in a test zone yet, so we'll see what happens. And also on video is great. Yeah. Precisely, but
She's breaking up.
Your audio's started breaking up, Nina. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Sorry. Okay, I'll pop out.
I'm going to pop out too, so that who else is up there? So Tony, I know you know. I got to get a picture with Tony though.
Right.
Yeah, I got to get a picture with Tony.
While Tony's coming in, guys, I just wanted to say one more thing to you guys about the Embed. We are all putting out such fabulous content here on Blab, and I don't want to see it going to waste for you. You can put it to work, not just with your Facebook page, not just with your blog, but the other site that's pretty hot right now, Medium. Even Blab uses Medium for their blog. And I'm not suggesting that you replace your blog with Medium, but you've got tons of Blabs, right? And you don't always have a blog post, and you don't always upload them to YouTube, and you're not going to always do that SlideShare thingy I just taught you, right? Embed your Blabs in a Medium post. Okay. and that'll be perfect for the Circadians, because you guys are doing, similar content, especially now you got all these co-hosts this month. You want to embed some of those over there on Medium, as an extra way to extend your reach of your Blabs. Okay, guys. So I really want to encourage you to do that.
Create a Blab checklist, subliminal hint.
Number 5.
That was, yeah. It's all that thing's actually already about how many pages it is, but there's a lot of stuff that we do. But the one of the things that it's not necessarily on how much you do, but what you do. There's a lot of wasted effort sometimes in things that just don't really pan out, and they're not going to. But I'm going to get out so that I'm going to get out so that somebody else can come in. I've been in enough. I love you to death. You know how I feel about you, and I will see you later. I may pop back in just a little bit, but peace, love, and understanding if I don't see you again.
Okay. Thank you, Stan.
Tony, tell us about you, Tony.
I'm going to say, wow, 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 and wow. Awesome stuff.
Oh,
thank you so much for sharing it with us today, Ileane.
Yeah.
Always get great value. My name is Tony Mobley. I'm a Circadian. I'm a new Circadian, and I'm happy about becoming a Circadian. I'm getting so much value, and I think the first day I was on camera as a Circadian, Ileane said, "That is the right place for you." That's the right place for you.
I know it.
And so she's absolutely right.
Tony's got that voice.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm a type 2 diabetic, or at least I have been up until 109 days ago, where I was able to get off my 3 different diabetic medications. And so now I'm an advocate for diabetes, and I try to make sure that people know that you can make changes in your diet. Your food can be your medicine can be your food, and you can make changes. I lost significant weight. I'm looking better every day. And thank you, Jim. And it's just a positive thing. And the reason I share advocacy about diabetes is because there are 80 million Americans that have diabetes that don't know that they do. And so it's important that we share the news that you can make changes. And I'm going to say something that's going to make Coca-Cola and Pepsi mad, but where you can, please give up the sodas, because it is just basically liquid sugar with acid added. And that's really what it is. So if you can't stop completely, cut it down. So again, Ileane, thank you so much for doing what you do. You always give us great value. And we go to your links and we get more additional information, and it's just overwhelming. And so a person like me, who's kind of a novice in terms of technology, I know a little bit about everything, which really means I really don't know anything. And so I can actually, go to Ileane's links and being a part of the Circadians, the combination of the two. Boy, I tell you, I'm rolling now. I'm rolling now. I'm rolling. So I'm going to pop out so somebody else can come in.
Oh, thank you, Tony. Thank you.
I love you. I love you, Ileane.
Oh, I love you too.
I love being a part of the Circadians. And Jim, good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you. You're looking better every day.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
I'm going to post it here from Laura. How well does Blab work for engagement compared to other social media sites you use? Ileane, I'm going to let you answer that one.
Wow, I don't know another site that's more engaging than Blab. So, the day I came here over 200 plus days ago, I knew this was the place for me. It helped me with reviving my podcast, because my podcast had been on hiatus for over 11 months. And when I came, that was back at the time when we didn't have the recorded Blabs. It was something they were testing out. And the second day I got here, Furkan was nice enough. He said, give me your, follow me on Twitter and I'll DM you and I'll turn it on for you. And I knew, I said, this is the place for me. And I can use my, use the video. I can connect with folks that, I never knew, because I am a person who has always been like a social butterfly. I'm in all the blogging groups. I'm in, Triber and Blog Engage and Social Buzz Club and Viral. Okay, the list goes on. So I thought I knew everybody. I knew everybody in blogging, right? And so I came to Blab, and then I found out there is a whole world of people that I didn't know. And for me, it's been great for engagement. My Twitter following has just skyrocketed, and all of my, now I'm Snapchatting. Everybody knows that, right? Ileane Smith, follow me on Snapchat. So folks are engaging with me there, my Instagram. So I can't say enough about how engaging Blab is.
Nina had a question there. She said, I want the question on the GIF. I don't know what that was. Nina coming in.
I hope that the connection will not break. Sorry. I want to make a GIF with a question that's from the public, but it doesn't show. Do you know that the team Blab is considering to change that? If you know, because it's nice to have more dots from the conversation.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. And in fact, I thought you were talking about the gifts over on in the chat that we used to be able to post, which is turned off. And Team Blab used to be very good about having town halls where they would, talk about the features and let everybody vent about all the things that they wanted changed. And I think at some point we had like this huge wish list of things that we wanted. And I think Blab felt as though they covered just about every feature we asked for that they're willing to give us, except for the embedding and the screen sharing. And so since they don't hold the town halls anymore, the only thing you can do is try to pop into Brittany and Hannah have a Blab similar to this one, but it's really for new people, called How to Use Blab. And so sometimes the questions that'll come up, like we all know, right? And the other thing you can do, Nina, I know this is a long way to get to answer your question, but I'm going to answer you. The other thing you can do is whenever you see Sean come into a Blab or host a Blab, I don't even see Furcon. I haven't seen Furcon on camera in a while, but we're in different time zones, so maybe he comes on at night. So with all that said, the last time I saw Sean, which was, I will say 2 weeks ago, he said that they had taken the gifts out of the comments because they were trying to work on a glitch. Now, I also know that with the embedding, the one reason why they haven't released the embedding is because it doesn't show up in the replay. So bringing those comments and pinning them is also another thing that is part of it. Does not appear in the replay. That's why I always try to remember if a comment is pinned to read it out, say who it's from and all of that, because it does not show up in the replay. So I'm hoping that that's answering your question.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing for the checklist we are doing, because we have to remember for the replay what's visible there. And we have the questions here that disappear. So we have links and it's changing every day. But it would be nice if I can have the question maybe on screen share is easy though.
Yep. Yeah. And I'm going to only assume that they're having a difficult time coding that. And I don't know why, because, the other things that they tried to code. So maybe there's a bigger issue that they just haven't shared. But the best thing I can tell you is try to see when somebody else from Team Blab is in a Blab and try to sneak that question in.
We're coming up on the top of the hour, so I'm going to be the timekeeper. Stan wants to mention something before we get off air. He wanted to get in for another minute. Go ahead, Stan.
I just wanted to confirm one thing with Ileane, because I know that she probably does this. I know that Miana does. That we had a couple of, when you're a host, we do a show on Tuesdays on how to host a Blab, and on how to host a Blab, we talk about a little bit about the trolls and things like that are coming in. Just so you know, on Blab right now, there was actually some people talking about it last night, the Bodenheiser show. I don't know if you know Cliff. You know Cliff, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, the Bowden Hilmer or something. I can't name the show, but it's at 11 o'clock. But they were discussing this last night, is that we just had a couple of people that came in that said something about I have a question, and then they said something about Ron's hair, and then they asked something about his beard and things like that. If you're the host of a show, it's okay to just close those out. It's okay to just hit that button, and just like they have the ability to go wherever they want to. We don't know where they're going, but they can't stay here. Because
I was going to tell them I have an ebook out on how to take care of yourself. It's $9.95 coming out. So if they want to learn all that, they can buy my ebook and learn all about it.
Yeah, just be aware of it. When you start your own Blab and you have those kind of things, that it's okay. You can choose to ignore them, but they won't go away. They'll keep asking that. There's actually a little pack of them right now that are getting people into other, like if a group of them invites you to another social media site or something, just be aware they're doing some things like that. But that's
There's
not
some
any reason.
strange people out there.
Yeah, don't be afraid, because the world's still a beautiful place.
Yep.
So don't be afraid of stuff,
And
In regards
there's
to
more
Nikki,
good people than bad.
Yeah. It's
dear Ileane, in regards to Nikki, sorry to interrupt you. I have to go out.
Okay, honey.
I
Okay.
do too. That's just what I wanted to make that comment, that when they come in there like that, you don't worry about, you don't have to worry about hurting their feelings, because they ain't got none.
It did, I don't worry about that. And they had the questions over there. I just X'd them out, and I just figured, well, they're having some fun. If I ignore them, they'll go away. But I was going to mention that, and you brought it up, and I was going to say I have an ebook coming out at $9.95, and they can learn how to take care of themselves, because they probably don't. At least they're not taking care of themselves mentally. So.
And the little check box that says they're verified, that's a joke going around too.
Yeah,
I know that Ileane's heard
don't
that's a
believe
joke
that.
too. But if you have to spend money on that, I'm available to get you verified. It's $9.95. That's $995, not $9.95. Because if I'm going to jail for something, it's going to be big. So I will see you guys later.
And before you close us out, I just want to say, Miss Ileane, this was fantastic. This was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. It's my pleasure to be here with you guys. Like I said, I am just amazed at your streak of, how you've been able to do this every day for so long. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So it's my pleasure to be a part of it. Thank you very, very much.
Ileane, I just want to thank you. We got in this hour, we normally don't go this long, but there was just so much information that you gave us. I hope the people watch the replay, because I'm going to have to sit down with a pad and pencil and just take notes, because I couldn't get it all. But the stuff that you gave us was so important, and it so well. And if you're not following Ileane, please follow Ileane. I mean, she, you could hear today, she knows what's going on, and she knows how to do it.
And she will help you. Any chance she can, she will help you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now I'm going to get Ileane. Do you want to post any links, or I know you've been posting them, or any last word before we leave?
Well, I just want to encourage those guys that haven't yet started their own Blab. They haven't, experienced, hosting a Blab. Go for it. It's okay. I mean, you're not going to get better unless you start. So start where you are and just keep getting better and better. Like I've seen Ron blossom into a beautiful flower, as well as Michelle. So
my wife says I'm a thorn in her side, so I don't know about the beautiful flower.
And so I'm just going to post the link to my website, ileanesmith.com, and all, my podcasts and all other links you can find right there. And thanks so much for having me, guys. It's been so much.
I am going to say tomorrow, 10 a.m. or today at 2 p.m. we have Tony and I and Michelle. Michelle, you going to be there?
I'll be in the background. Yes.
Okay. We're gonna have Embed Blab at 2 p.m. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. we have how to brand your Blab, and again at 2 p.m.
That's right. We got Dustin tomorrow. Dustin Stout's my guest.
Yeah, Dustin Stout tomorrow. So we got some good stuff going on here, folks, and you want to tune in. At that, I am going to say we are going to close out. I'm going to stop the recording and say goodbye to everybody.
Thanks for watching. We hope you found this video helpful. The Circadians are a concept community. Our community isn't built around an individual. We live, work, and thrive in a guru-free zone, getting stuff done. Everyone is equal, everyone matters, and everyone has their own special gift. The sum of those gifts is greater than the individual. We create event-driven, outcome-oriented business-building platforms, broadcasts, websites, content, training programs, and more. And every day, we have a daily Circadian clinic where we get stuff done. If you would like an invite to that, send an email to stan@thecircadians.com. Thank you.